something huge is happening in Africa and no one is talking about it. You may see roads, ports, ships and infrastructure, but if you look closely, you'll realize this isn't just development. It's a silent military buildup. China is quietly laying the foundation of its military power across the African continent. From Djibouti on the eastern coast to Equatorial Guinea on the west, and from the warm waters of Tanzania to the deep-sea ports of Angola, China is establishing military presence, forming new partnerships and planting its flag. But the real question is why? Is it just to protect its trade, or is there a much bigger goal hiding behind these moves? The answer will surprise you. Welcome to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to never miss an upload. Now let's dive right in. China's most well-known and established foothold in Africa is none other than Douala multipurpose port, situated in the tiny East African nation of Djibouti. Located strategically just a few miles away from the Gulf of Aden, this port serves as a crucial gateway between Asia and Europe. Ever since China took over this port in 2018, it has served as the operational hub of their very first overseas military base. This base is more than just a logistical outpost. It's a significant challenge to the existing global maritime dynamics. It's important to remember that Djibouti is not just any country. It is nestled strategically on the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. You know, the strait that connects the Red Sea to the Gulf of Aden, and it plays a pivotal role in international trade. Almost 12% of global trade, which equates to approximately $3.3 billion worth of goods, passes through this narrow stretch of water every single day. The importance of controlling this route cannot be overstated, as it holds tremendous geopolitical significance. Imagine this: the Red Sea route is a major conduit for vital commodities such as oil, natural gas and industrial products flowing from Asia to Europe. Control over this route means control over a substantial portion of the global supply chain. But wait, there's more. Just consider the fact that around 10% of the world's crude oil shipments pass through this very strategic location. Additionally, it is estimated that nearly half of the liquefied natural gas destined for Europe transits through the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. The strategic value of this location becomes even more apparent when we consider that it is a primary conduit for oil tankers transporting crude from the Persian Gulf to refineries in India and East Asia. This control is amplified by the fact that the Suez Canal handles approximately 12% of global containerized cargo. Think about it: control over this route gives China considerable leverage over international trade flows, making it a critical asset for maintaining global supply chains and economic stability. The recent expansion of the Douala port reflects this strategic priority. It allows larger vessels to dock, enhancing China's ability to monitor and potentially intervene if necessary. While trade and commerce are the primary activities here, it also provides an ideal base for naval vessels to observe and react to developments in the region. For instance, considering the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine, China could deploy naval vessels to monitor and assess any potential threats or disruptions to trade routes, thus safeguarding its own commercial interests. This strategic positioning enables China to respond effectively to piracy, terrorism or any other security concerns that may arise along these crucial shipping lanes. Moreover, given the volatile political climate in the region, China likely uses the base to gather valuable intelligence, keeping tabs on regional activities that might impact its economic interests. With the base's proximity to international shipping lanes, China gains a strategic advantage in terms of surveillance and monitoring capabilities. This allows them to stay informed about any potential threats or disruptions and take proactive measures to mitigate risks. Plus, it is a diplomatic move. Having a military presence in the region helps China cultivate stronger ties with local governments and project a more significant global role for itself. It signifies China's growing influence and commitment to regional stability, further solidifying its position as a major player on the international stage. And now let's talk about Guinea. Here's the interesting part. In 2022, China initiated a significant step towards bolstering its military presence in Africa by signing a deal with Equatorial Guinea, a small Central African nation poised to become China's second permanent military base on the continent. And this move is all about strategy. Equatorial Guinea offers a prime location with its island territory of Bioko and its mainland region. The former Spanish colony holds immense strategic value due to its proximity to important maritime routes. This strategic location enhances surveillance capabilities, allowing China to monitor critical areas such as the Gulf of Guinea and the Atlantic coast. These regions are crucial for international trade and resource transportation, making it an ideal spot for China to keep an eye on potential threats or disruptions. Think about it: by having a military base in Equatorial Guinea, China can extend its surveillance network beyond the scope of the Gulf of Aden, broadening its capacity to monitor and safeguard its interests. This strategic move allows China to diversify its monitoring efforts and enhance its ability to respond to potential crises. It is a tactic commonly employed by global powers to ensure the safety of their shipping lanes and protect their economic interests. And if that wasn't enough, the strategic value of Equatorial Guinea is amplified by its proximity to significant oil reserves and shipping lanes. As a result, this location is vital for monitoring and responding to any threats to China's extensive maritime trade networks. By establishing a military base here, China can effectively safeguard its valuable trade routes, reduce the risk of piracy, and respond swiftly to any maritime incidents. But it doesn't end there. The establishment of a military base in Equatorial Guinea also serves as a platform for broader cooperation in the region. It facilitates joint exercises, intelligence sharing, and capacity building with local partners, fostering stronger military ties and promoting stability in the region. This approach aligns with China's broader foreign policy objectives of peaceful development and win-win cooperation. Furthermore, the move highlights China's growing economic ties with African nations. Through infrastructure development and trade agreements, China has significantly increased its footprint in Africa. The military base in Equatorial Guinea is seen as a natural extension of these partnerships and serves to strengthen bilateral relations. It demonstrates China's commitment to contributing to regional security and stability while also advancing its own national interests. As the details of the agreement are finalized, the specifics of the military base's operations, size, and scope are yet to be determined. However, it is anticipated that the base will serve primarily as a logistics hub to support Chinese naval vessels and provide essential supplies and services. This strategic positioning will enable Chinese ships to operate more efficiently and effectively carry out their missions. China's growing military presence in Africa goes beyond Djibouti and Equatorial Guinea. Its influence is expanding to other strategic locations like Angola, Namibia, and Gabon. In Angola, China has made substantial investments in the Luanda port, the largest in Africa. Officially designated as a commercial port, it possesses dual-use features that enable it to accommodate military vessels. Chinese state-owned companies have played a pivotal role in modernizing and expanding Angola's port infrastructure. The strategic importance of Luanda lies in its potential to support naval operations and serve as a hub for the maintenance and refueling of Chinese warships. Furthermore, Luanda's deepwater capabilities allow it to handle large vessels, including those used for military purposes. The presence of Chinese businesses and contractors in Angola's port sector has raised questions about the level of access and control they have over these strategic assets. Concerns have been raised that China's involvement in Luanda port could compromise Angola's national security interests and potentially grant China undue influence in the region. Some analysts argue that China's significant financial investments in the port could translate into substantial debt burden for Angola, raising concerns about the long-term sustainability of the loans and the potential implications for Angola's economic sovereignty. In Namibia, China's focus is on the Walvis Bay port, which is commercially operational but believed to have the capacity to be transformed into a full-scale naval base. China's growing influence in Namibia's port sector has raised questions about its intentions and potential implications for the region. The strategic location of Walvis Bay makes it a key player in regional trade, and China's increasing involvement has sparked discussions about the balance of power in the area. And finally, in Gabon, China has been actively seeking closer ties, aiming to elevate its relationship with the country to a comprehensive strategic partnership. Gabon holds significant strategic value due to its location near key maritime routes and oil fields. China's interest in Gabon's port infrastructure is driven by its desire to secure access to strategic resources and protect its economic interests in the region. In conclusion, China's moves in Africa are not merely about securing trade routes, but represent a broader strategic shift in global power dynamics. By establishing military bases and strengthening partnerships in key locations, China is expanding its reach and influence on the African continent. These strategic moves highlight China's growing economic ties with African nations and its commitment to contributing to regional security and stability. As China continues to invest in Africa's infrastructure and engage in joint ventures, it is essential for African countries to strike a balance between maximizing the benefits of Chinese investment and mitigating potential risks. The growing military presence in Africa is reshaping the geopolitical landscape and will continue to have profound implications for the region and the world. What do you think about this? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss anything. See you in the next one.